Actually, how many of you have GitHub account? Okay, maybe we should spend some time for you to, those who don't have create a GitHub account now and start the GitHub repository. And actually, tomorrow when you give your example, you can put your code or material there and then share it with all other people. It's actually very good, especially nowadays, even for biology. That's also important. We are computational biology. Yeah, so if you don't have a GitHub account, let's spend some time create one to have it functional. Yeah. So before I move on, that's actually seems to be more useful to get that experience. For those who already haven't looked at the TA file for that. Okay, how do you create a GitHub account? Let's see. If I don't have it, file new. So if I never use GitHub, I have to use a new one. So go to Git. Oops, sorry. Sign up. So there's a sign up. You need to enter email. Put the email. Oh, actually it says this email is invalid or already taken. Somebody 2023. Create a password. Somebody at Chattanooga. Enter username. Somebody. No. Please solve the puzzle wherever you are human. Oh. I guess pick, yeah, so those are the procedure you have to go over. It looks like GitHub website also had a new site. Once you have it, let me once you have it, let me see. So this is what I have. There's a new button. I can say click new repository, no template. I can use a template. Let's say I'm going to say icompbio test 2023 public. Create a repository. There. So this is oh, I see. So now you have a quick start. You need to do set up in desktop or HTTP or push repository or import. I see. This is where some of you get lost. So it's easier to use the setup in desktop. So in this case, if you set up in desktop, you need to actually download that desktop version. So there. So I'm now so now I'm in my desktop, GitHub desktop. So icompbio test bio, I'm going to put in a directory there. There. So I now have this one, but there's really nothing there. I'm going to create something. So I need to find out where it is. I put it in a directory called git. What do I call it? icombio sandbox there. Hello world. This is probably the most famous code everybody wrote. Hello world Python. So I typed it. I'm going to just put a text file. Hello Chattanooga. Okay, so there's a text file there. So there, hello. Oh, I missed the word. The hello. Oh, word LD. Okay, hello world. And then I come back to the GitHub desktop there. Hello world. So I'm going to. This is something called commit. Here. This is something called commit. I'm trying to. Okay. So you need to give a name for the commit. So commit push. Push is push to the cloud. Pull is pull from the cloud back. So I'm going to create commit. Now, if I look at the history there, there's a history there. My first commit, hello world. In fact, it shows green. I added a line say hello world, hello Chattanooga. So then I have to push, publish. Actually, publish a branch, publish that. It seems to be it is published now. So if I go back to the GitHub, refresh my screen, there, my first file for this repository, hello world, is there. So if I click on that, there, hello world, Chattanooga. So now if I come back to the GitHub, it says change. This file has changed. This is actually why Git keeps tracking of things. It's easier to code a basic text file. So here you can see that line, hello Chattanooga, is removed, but there's a new line say hello Chattanooga, Tennessee. That keeps track of those change in your code. So here I will say update, commit that, and then push this file again. If I go back to my GitHub file, refresh it. Now I have two commits. The first one is create hello world. That is still hello world. But the new one, update hello world, I change it to hello Chattanooga, Tennessee. So this is how GitHub help us keep track changing of the code. It's very, by the way, had anyone got the time to ask ChatGPT why it's called Git? Why don't we, why does the name Git is used for the version control software? Yeah, so that's a story. So, it's basically a self-deprecating nickname of Linus Torvald. So there's already operating system Linux named after him. If he named another thing he don't want to name Linux again, he named it Git. Basically means jerk. So seem to be appropriate. So yeah, that's basically what it means. So so that's a very simple use of GitHub. So you can try. Actually, if you work with GitHub, work with ChatGPT, it may give you some provide a step by step tutorial on how to use Git and GitHub. So if you really want to use Git on the command line, that's what, but you don't have to. This is from command line. I'm going to say use desktop. You can get GitHub with desktop GUI interface. Make it easier, not using command line. Yeah. Oh, I see. If you use the GUI interface, there's a difference between Windows and Mac. And then you may want to say, provide a tutorial for Windows, provide tutorial for Mac, or other systems. Yeah. So yeah. So yeah. Oh, this is very nice. It's actually it's quite advanced. Even ask you to create the branch and merge and manage the branch. We in research we don't often use it, but in software engineering in company, when you have multiple teams work on a large software, that's a very common practice. Every team work on different branch, and then the entire team merge their branch into a final product. So that's actually very often in the company, but in research environment, we often just use one branch. So that's not an issue. Also in research environment, is just a few graduate students working on it. It's relatively manageable. But if you think about Walmart had the web service, gee, that's a huge project. It's unlikely everybody work on the same task at the same time. So, okay, so yeah, so this for us install Git, sign up Git, GUI interface, create a new repository, clone, make change commit. That's enough. 8, yeah. Create a branch and merge branch. We don't have to do that. Yeah. So there, those. So yeah. That's the a really fast Git and GitHub overview. So, so once you have that, put your sample code there. If you can run your actually, can we run C code in Colab? I'm not sure. Can we run C and C++?
Yes, we can run.
Oh, we can?
Yeah, in Colab.
Code in Colab. Yes. Oh, it is. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, you look at the some wrapping function in Colab to handle with C and C++ code. Excellent. Oh, I know. Yes, the Colab is basically the Linux environment, so we can use the magical command to compile them and run. Yes, so yes, that is certainly doable. Okay, excellent. Oh, that means anyone who want to run a C++ or C example as a demo, you can do that on the on the Colab. So in fact, we can do it even now to see whether it works. Notebook. Yeah, it runs the Linux environment shell command. So yeah, so okay. Okay, so that's the GitHub account. For the Python example, we before the launch we stop at the part 2, and part 2 is basically explore time series by counties. I think we had the example to plot. Is it? Yes, we plotted with ChatGPT, and it works. So let's quickly go over part 3, daily cases, Hamilton County, Tennessee. And here is actually what called data processing, because the daily cases at the Hamilton County, Tennessee, or at the other county is cumulative. But very often when you see the reporting, they don't report cumulative. Okay, they report the daily changes. And so we need to convert those daily changes, cumulative measure into daily cases. So that's the task here. So the way I do it, let's see. I use the command called diff. I use the apparently in pandas diff command will convert the cumulative entries into the difference by rows. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT to comment this row. Oh, it's actually commented into a separate lines. And using single line. Okay, I don't want to use multiple line. Still using. Okay. Oh, nice. Now it's commented and I put it back. Okay, after I put it back, it doesn't run anymore. There must be a typo somewhere. Okay, there's still, oh, I know. There must be some previous code when I run it, they erase the previous one. Yeah, this is the issue of the notebook. Every time when you run it, it's going to erase the previous version. But to correct this kind of the easy way, I just rerun the previous code. I see. It's this code I need to rerun. So. Oh, I know why it's not run because I cannot run the code. If I run the code twice, it's going to minus itself twice. If you x minus 1, I run it twice, become x minus 2. So that's the part of okay, now it works. Okay, so yeah. So yeah, that's the issue with running notebook. Sometimes you run the same block twice and then the result won't be the correct. So yeah. That's the plot, and this is a rolling window plot. No, but this is not Hamilton County, Tennessee anymore. I still want to do Hamilton County, Tennessee. So I'm going to put the Hamilton County, Tennessee there. So. This is interesting. The COVID-19 has stopped, but the situation should have been so good. There are negative number of COVID-19 cases, but unfortunately we still have. So, but that's part of the data. So, I mean, I know the pandemic is good, but it can't be so good. People start to come back from the turmoil. Negative means positive means people get a case. If it's death, people die. If it's a negative death, that means people become alive again. Sorry, that's a joke. But yeah. So okay. So see, there's a negative case, but how do I know that's an error? How do I remove that error? I can smooth it out. Use a sliding window to take in this case, use a medium. Basically, between a negative and a zero and the possible, which one is more accurate? I use the medium to smooth the noise out. So this is actually a very common way to correct the noise in the data set. So yeah. So using a mean seems to be about smoothing. Medium seems to be a bit more noisy. So yeah, that's part 3. For part 4, I'm going to try ChatGPT again, see whether we can get the more optimized way to do this. So this is so for part 4, this example is good because I want to merge the Google mobility with the COVID-19 data set. And the COVID-19 data set, I got it from Johns Hopkins website. But Google mobility came from Google. Now we have 2 different sources of data. How do we merge them? This is very common for data science or statistics. In many situations, we have data come from different source, different format. We need to merge them, then analyze. So this is very common. There are many terms for this: data harmonization, data wrangling, data pre-processing. The basic idea is we need to somehow handle the heterogeneous data and let the computational tool can handle them all together. So. And in this case, by the way, this is actually not a Python anymore. Those are shell command. Exclamation sign, wget, those are all Unix command. Which means if you have a C code, you can also run on the use GCC. Those are shell command. Use magic command to download the data. Yeah. So basically download that from the Google report. Yeah, that's very nice. Google really did this. Both Apple and Google released those public data. Those are anonymized cell phone mobility data. So we can use that to track the social distancing. Basically, that's how we are working on that. Replacing. How do I type yes or no? I don't have to replace. It's already there. So yeah. So there are actually 2020, 2022, 2021. There are three years of Google Mobility Report. I read that into three pandas and then merge, concatenate them. Let me copy paste this code into ChatGPT, but see whether it can optimize this. This is the way I always do this, but I'm not sure whether there's a better way to do this. So I'm going to put this into ChatGPT, ask them. So there are 3 files. I need to read them into one pandas frame, data frame. My old code are revise, then can you optimize this code? Interesting. It looks like I'm asking ChatGPT almost like a TA. Right. So let's see whether this works. Oh, you just say you can loop over it. Okay, that's still the same thing. But I guess if I have 10 files, I can loop over it. But the problem is I have multiple CSV files. I see. I can put those files into a list. Okay. Can you revise the above code by assigning which variable? File list. With a list of the 3 files that I provided. Wow, amazing. Gee, let me try. Will this work? Okay. Let's see. So that's my code, my previous code. So let's see. With ChatGPT. No. What's my prompt? Okay, let's first see whether it runs or not. Copy the code. I already have that, so I don't have to. That's fine. Let's leave it there. That's my list of files. And I have to give you a deep. I'm going to call that DFUS GPT. So, okay, I actually can go back to ChatGPT, say, rename df as ef.us GPT. Is that what it is? Underscore, not dot. Dot will means the Python attribute, so not dot. Underscore in the above code. Yes. So I don't even have to replace that one by one myself. In fact, if I replace one by one, I might miss one. Okay, let's see whether this runs. I'm going to check df. Just compare the number of rows, the shape, see whether their shape are consistent. Oh, sorry, I had a typo. So I need to comment on the print. I really don't need that print. $251, 1994. That's the okay. How about the bottom one? So let me compare that. Wow, exactly the same. So yeah, it works. It certainly, at least from the organizations, is much more cleaner than my code. I just manually put it there. If I have 100 files, copy paste 100 times, I probably make an error. Right? But this one using a loop to go over 3 files, it may sound like overkill, but it's a good practice. So it doesn't look like using a loop to handle 3 files is advantageous, but it's a good practice. What if I have to handle 10 files, 20 files? So it is a good practice. Okay, so ChatGPT certainly help improve the coding practice here. So, that's my old code that the ChatGPT is. Yeah, it gave exactly the same dimension. And then this is I convert data data into the data frame. Specific county. Now here's So this is my own code to merge the two data frame. I'm going to see whether ChatGPT can suggest some way to see whether I have a better way to merge them. But how do I ask ChatGPT to do that? This I also changed that into brown, so it look like it's actually Hamilton County. So how do I do that? So the question is, how do I ask ChatGPT to merge this COVID-19 data frame and the Google mobility data frame? So I probably have to print out some data frame information there. DF columns. Yeah. So those are the information columns. How about the COVID-19 columns? So let's try. So I never tried with ChatGPT this kind of a challenging task, but let's see whether it actually can be helpful. If it's helpful, it's going to really help with some beginner data science student or someone who is new to this, try to handle this. So otherwise, you have to really read the data, understand that to do. Let's see whether ChatGPT can do. So I need to merge two different pandas data frames. I will give you the column name of the two data frame. And please oh, I see. It's more than that because we actually need to merge them by county and Tennessee and the state. And the two data sets that contain more than that. So how do I ask this question? I have to give more specific information. So DF US, what's the name of that? Yeah, so one is a DF US. Another one is oh wait. I did it looked like no, that's correct. I want to skip this part. COVID-19. Yes, that's correct. Another one is DF. I could do this at a high level, but currently I already have this. One is the DF COVID, DF1. Oh, it looks like I have to rewrite the whole code with ChatGPT because the it maybe I'm too, maybe I have too high expectation for ChatGPT. You look, I don't even know how to ask a question to ChatGPT. Anyone have some better idea how to ask ChatGPT for this? If I don't ask a high level question, I can ask a detailed question. A detailed question is basically going to be the same logical flow as my old code. It doesn't look like it's streamlined, improve the code a lot. It's still the same old code. I was hoping I can put the COVID-19 and mobility data frame with the structured information into code into ChatGPT. I want to see whether you can come out with a much better code than I wrote. The code I wrote, I'm not really proud. It works, but it's even hard for me to explain. It's not good code. It can be much better. Yeah. But I'm struggling to ask ChatGPT how to improve it. So there. So it shows that it's not easy to even use ChatGPT to cheat in this case. Oh, someone actually, yeah, we can merge, but no, you cannot do that here. Actually, someone actually put in say merge the two data frame. Like, no, it doesn't work in this case because yeah, if you try, you will know why. You had two subsetting them, then work out. Yeah, good try. Sorry, yeah. Do they? Yes, they also have different dimensions, different time frames. What's more important, you want to merge by county and state. You don't want to just merge them randomly. Yeah, you just merge them randomly, doesn't make sense. So when you merge by county and state, you also have to merge them by date. Right, so for each mobility data, case data, you need to match by county and date. So that's a challenging part. Oh, actually, thanks for the question. That's actually explain why it's hard for me to ask ChatGPT because there are at least two dimensions when in the county and the date is 2 column. And then there's a time. The time is actually in COVID-19, it's a row. In mobility is, I see. Oh, I know. One of the key difference is the format are different. In the mobility, every county and the date is inputted by a row. In COVID-19, every county, all the cases is a column. Yeah, so the two data frame actually also have an entirely different format. So the solution in the chat is just is not going to work because the two data frames are in completely different format. So you can only merge them when they are in the all organized by the column or organized by row, then you can merge them in left or right index. So that's actually it's a good try, but it's not going to work for these two data frames. So you can try, and I'm pretty sure if it doesn't give you a syntax error, at least the merge doesn't make sense. So, yeah, for basically my old code is actually instead of merge all data frame all together, I just merge it, take the key here. I first take the location into a separate data frame. And then I take out the mobility by location into another data frame, and then merge these two subsetting. So it's kind of instead of tackle the entire big question altogether, I make them smaller, and then merge them by the daily cases. Yeah. So How did I merge them? It looked like, yeah, I actually now merged them pd.merge. Yeah, so I now merge them, but only after I already subsetting them. So if you merge them directly, it's not going to work. So here I merge county, but that I can only do that after already subsetting them into the same format. But how do I do this at a much smarter instead of manually subsetting them? Can automate this? That's the issue I'm trying to address. Right now, I every time I do this, I manually change the parameter. That's clearly is not a smart way. Can at least can be do much more efficient. So unfortunately, I don't have an answer for that. I'm even struggling to ask ChatGPT the right question to do that. So there, that's the PD merge. But before I can do that, actually, I have to manually reformat the data into the right format to merge. So that's actually, let me try that. I'm going to save all the Python code, then ask ChatGPT to optimize this. Let me try this. Okay, I see. I'm going to output this code. How do I output this code? How do I output this code in Python alone? Code snippet? No. Download. Oh, download the Py. Yes. Good. I'm going to download the Python code and then copy paste the Python code into ChatGPT and see whether it can optimize this. So, okay, let's see. So I'm going to open this up with what? BB edit. I'm not sure this will work on, but at least it's good to try. So that's in part. Which part is that? Yeah, the problem about the text editor, I need to. This is in part 4. Okay, look for part 4. Okay, part 4. I'm going to copy paste this thing. Okay, let's copy paste the code in ChatGPT, ask it to optimize. I'll be really amazed if this works. But the good thing about in computational world, you can try. What's the worst thing can happen? So I'm going to say here are some Python code to merge two data frames. df US, and then what's the other one? df1. To merge to merge data by what's the county? What's the county by df1 combine the key? That's the location. So I'm going to give it a specific, more specific by df combine the key. What's the other one? Oh, the mobility actually not the is actually even it actually have two columns, subregion 1 and subregion 2. I see. So the data in really different format. That one is the DFU location. I'll just put it there. I'll give it as much information as possible into data frames. Optimize this code. Okay, will this work? I see. It's basically the same thing. It didn't really optimize. It's still using my logic. It's still slicing them. I'm a bit disappointed. So it's basically using my old code. It didn't do any. Although it seemed to be a streamline a little bit, but it did not automate it. Maybe I need to revise my. Okay. Can you revise above to loop over all rows in So I'm going to see whether you can automate this. Oh, I know what. This is a tricky part because in Johns Hopkins, county and state are one word, one item, but in Google there are two items. So I have trouble to reconcile these two names. So let's see whether ChatGPT have a better way to do this. Oh, it actually say it can. But that say ChatGPT always says certain. So yeah, let's see. Does it work? It does look like it's trying to do that. Interesting. It does try to drop something. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, now it's trying to automate it. Does it actually work? Okay, let's copy this. Well, at least it gave me some thought how to automate this, right? My previous code, it's all manual. This one, even if it doesn't work, at least gave me a new way of thinking how to write this code. So I'm going to put this separately. So this is part where how to use the Git is also important. I want to keep track of code. I know it may or may not work, but I want to make sure my old version still works. So I'm going to commit. This is before ChatGPT attempt for automate part 4. Merging Google mobility and COVID by county. So I commit before I make the change. I make commitment. That's where you have a fallback position. Okay, now I'm going to make changes. So I'm going to put that at the very end of this. So I'm also going to leave some comment there. So that will be so there, I actually added a section comment say, I'm trying to automate this. And then I copy paste ChatGPT code there. Okay, let's run this. There are some errors. Not surprisingly. Which part it had errors? So to be honest, this is good philosophy. I think if I correct the error, it's going to run. Even though currently it doesn't run, but I think this philosophy still works. I just need to correct those errors, and then I'll have a more better version of the code. So I may have to spend some time to really study this to get it working, but it's good philosophy. So the way I will approach this will be, again, isolate the problem to see where that error is. Obviously, that works. Those all works. So I see this is probably where that problem is. Actually, I can see that now. I don't have to print this. Oh, can you see where the problem is? Actually, I know where that problem is now. In the Google, it always has this county there. Say, Augusta County, Alabama. In the Johns Hopkins data, it just say Hamilton. It doesn't have that county there. So they don't match because the Google Mobility has that extra county word there. There, that's the problem. Yeah. So now we have to modify the code to remove that white space and county in that page. So I think some of you are already very tired. To be honest, this is also very technical. It really, I mean, I can get the code working, but at a high level, it's just a syntax issue. So, but it's good. That I guess the point is with ChatGPT, I have a new way to automate this code, but because the input data had the naming doesn't match, so I still have a running issue there. But this is actually an issue you will meet very, very common, especially if you work with human inputted data. Like, so you may find your name, you can call John. Sometimes you put your name Johnny. You may call it a Matthew. Sometimes you put it a Matt. I even see people go with Timothy and the nickname is Jimmy. I have no idea how to match it, but so, but that's what people input in the system. How do you match those things? That's why we rely on so-called unique identifier, like a social security number. In this case, your UTC net ID, that's supposed to be unique. So, but not always. I actually had an issue with that. funny story. I used to work at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. I left, work at a different institute. I came back to University of Tennessee, Chattanooga. Everything, I mean, this is a new university. Everything should work. And they put my name into a system. Apparently, there's a record on me at Knoxville, and the Knoxville and Chattanooga use the same system. They don't allow the same person with the same social security to have two different ID. So for a long time, a month or something, I couldn't. Many of the things in the system doesn't work for me. So, yeah, it's funny. Actually, there's another funny story. When I left Knoxville, they didn't deactivate my parking pass. So when I visit Knoxville in the summer, I need to register for something. They say, you need to pay us such money. I said, why? I don't even work here. They say, well, when you leave, you didn't deactivate the parking, so the parking keep charging my account. There's a negative balance in my account. So someone had to pay that. Yeah, the funny people write a database or software. I mean, if I don't work there, why do they keep charging my parking? Anyhow, I know I write a lot of software myself, but those are the things happen to myself. Okay. Okay. It's actually a long day. I think we can. So tomorrow, I can stop here. And actually, there are many other things we can do. I know many of you are interested in deep learning. In fact, here I even write so nowadays, when you have a text, you can have the text read to yourself. But a few years ago, that tool still not available. So I even write my own code to convert text into audio. That way I can listen when I'm driving. So I actually write code myself. And there are many other things you can, for example, we can pretend someone else is speaking here. In this case, I use Barack Obama, probably. Kenya West. We can still try. I'm not sure whether this still works or not. So who else? Donald Trump. Okay, let's space frog are superior to human. They are fast and smart and can jump. Okay, let's see whether this works. So, oh, it looks like there's an error somewhere. Yeah, I mean the problem about the open source when the package is changing, they are not updated. Okay, this doesn't work anymore. Apparently there's an error there. I need to update that one. Or maybe it looks like these people even have the app right there. But they should update the Python code. Maybe deep learning data. Yeah, okay, but something we can work on this tomorrow. There's also a deep learning for sequence. We do that a lot. In fact, Louis, is that your research project? Yes, that's right. Okay, good. Work on another example, and how about you can hear tomorrow? Okay, good. We have a volunteer. So, Colin, can you work on the C++ pointer thing? Sure, yeah. Someone is working on R. Is that also you, Lou? Okay, you can do too. Who else want to volunteer for the R? Jane, you should. Now you can use ChatGPT to do some R example. Anything. I mean, just simple introduction. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Amira, can you do the visualization? Python, whatever. You mentioned during the launch you mentioned something about data visualization, correct? Yeah, sure. Yeah. How did you implement that? Oh, can you think about something using code to do visualization? Do you have something already written? Or you can try other things like, do you have something computational physics for baby? Computational physics for babies? You think? Yeah. Something. Okay. Okay, sure. Yeah, we can use other stuff. Excellent. So I see. Excellent. Actually, if some of you did other research project you want to present here tomorrow, that's also super cool idea. I mean, it's good to see your previous accomplishment. Emma, do you have? Can you come up with something to present tomorrow? No. Anything interesting? You think maybe interesting or something you are proud of? Okay, Abdul and the Jones brothers. I remember the system told you on the. I see something you want to present something. I don't know. Yeah. Good. All right. So yeah, it looks like why I talk so much. It's not really. So that's fine. But if you talk about your own project, it's very interactive. Okay. Question, or you can discuss about it. Other things. Okay, and then we can have a break. Okay, let me ask people on the web. Hey, this online people, who is there? Hey, I mean, Vijay, any, oh, hey, Skylar, David, questions?
This is really interesting. I learned a lot. Now I'm trying to use ChatGPT for some of my coding questions. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I see. Skyline and David, they probably still busy with the final. If it, that's fine. Of course, your final exam is take priority. This is just icing on the cake. For all the students, your academic record is probably the priority. Yeah. So actually, not proper is your priority. So, sorry. Yeah. So IEU is just icing on the cake, and of course, your cake is more important than icing itself.
Dr. Chen, actually, after seeing your Excel spreadsheet, looks this is less like some ongoing boot camp. But today I got I got information from Dr. Liang about today's session because of ChatGPT, so I jumped in.
Okay.
So it's like this going to continue tomorrow? Same ChatGPT or?
Tomorrow will be just the student present their own project. You are welcome to join. Actually, if you want to go over your some of your research project, that also would be great.
Okay.
You are still welcome to join. Okay, so I'm going to end the Zoom now. Since the
Okay. Thank you so much.
yeah.
It's really great session.
Thank
Thank you so much, Dr. Shi.
Bye.